Good evening, parents. Superintendent Daly, North Reading School Committee Chairman Friedman, members of the class of 2025. As principal, I am proud to welcome you to the 68th commencement exercises for North Reading High School. Allow me to offer my sincere thanks to the custodial staff, the cafeteria crew, the administrative assistance team, Mrs. Sang and Mrs. Jorgensen, Ms. Burke, the faculty, district administration, and our parent community. A special thanks this evening to our class advisors, Ms. Gagnon and Ms. Gilbert. You have been in good hands. Additionally, Ms. Boggs, our yearbook advisor, and her yearbook staff, thank you very much for your hard work. And I want to thank Mrs. Alonso. I appreciate our time together in these last 3 years. This evening's commencement ceremony marks the 11th opportunity for me as principal to address the graduating class. As you can see from the program, I'm one of several speakers this evening who has an opportunity to talk to our graduates, but student speakers will outnumber adult speakers, and I believe that's wholly appropriate. Today is about the class of 2025. This tradition of a principal's address is one that has special meaning for me this year, so the pressure is on for some remarks that justly honor the moment. However, before I get into that part of it, I don't know if I'm going to get a better chance and a more perfect moment to say thank you to the faculty and staff of the high school. A sincere thank you. There's probably a better way to say it, but when it comes to people in your life, there are really only 3 categories. I could provide a color-coded chart, laminated, of course, upon request only, really detailing these 3 categories. You have your family, you're stuck with them, figure it out. You have your friends, you get to choose your friends, you're allowed to be selective, way better odds. But those you do your work with, in this we rely on goodwill, character, and the idea that the whole will be greater than the sum of our parts. And I could not be more grateful, more proud, and more thankful to those educators seated at my left. Please thank them with me. I shared a small story with the seniors earlier this week, and I emailed it to them on their school email account. Some students at this time, likely vaguely recalling, they actually have a school email account. Important messages from teachers and administrators sometimes get delivered there directly. Anyway, the story is one that some may be familiar with, as I offered it to the North Reading Transcript a couple of months back as an entry for my scheduled Around the Schoolyard section of the newspaper. A quick shout out here to the Transcript for its dedication to the students of North Reading High School. It's one of the small things that one quickly realizes is a big thing, and a prime example of what makes North Reading, North Reading. I have many fond memories of sharing stories of student academic, athletic, and artistic success with Bob Turaz and Maureen Doherty and other members of that staff, including our own student intern, Ava Hanegraaff. Thank you to the Transcript. Had to go there, just love the Transcript. Back to my original thought. Thank you for your patience. The story I offered told of the experience of an educator proving their ability and their capacity to educate. And I used a metaphor for this work, likening it to holding a bird. And this is my message to you, members of the class of 2025. I wish for you an opportunity to be given a chance to be willing, if so granted, to choose to hold that bird. Better yet, don't wait to be asked if you want to hold the bird. Have the courage to trust in yourself, in those teachers that taught you, in your mentors and your coaches that prepared you, in your friends and your family that shaped you. Seek out the bird to offer yourself to this important task. Don't be afraid to take it, to protect it, nurture it, ultimately to be responsible for its welfare. It is really hard work. It may be work that is stressful at times, painful at times, or lonely at times, but also at times so rewarding, so immensely gratifying, and so powerful that you realize it has no comparison. It is a value that cannot be measured, and explains why you are doing this work. So the class of 2025, trust in yourself. Have the courage that has been sown in you, have the confidence that you possess in the preparation for these hardships that may come with leadership in any chosen vocation. Embrace the gratitude that comes from sacrifice. Hold that burden. It will change your life, and you will never regret it. Congratulations. I wish you well. And I'm happy now to introduce Superintendent of Schools, Patrick Dillon.
Thank you, Mr. LaPrette. To the students of the class of 2025 and their families, caregivers, good evening. It is my honor to join you here tonight and to share a few thoughts with you before you take those steps to receive your diplomas. As always, it's important for me to thank those who made the ceremony possible. The parents, guardians, and caregivers who have organized the drop-offs and pickups, helped with the homework, and reminded them to get off their phone and head to bed. Thank you. To our high school administration, Mr. LaPrette and Ms. Alonzo, and the senior advisors who have taken so much time to plan and guide our students through the many experiences this year, including the honors ceremonies, proms, and senior events this past week. To our educators, counselors, and staff, thank you for inspiring our students and in some instances being the reason somebody came to school. Instilling a sense of belonging is your greatest charge, and you have made it your mission to welcome all students into our classrooms every day. There are many others whom I would like to thank, from the facilities team who have made everything possible this evening, to the food service team, paraprofessionals, bus drivers, administrative assistants, coaches, and administrators who have all played a role in making our schools safe and supportive environments for our students to thrive. And to Mr. Friedman and members of the school committee, I want to extend my gratitude for your commitment to the policy and financial best interest of our schools and town. We are truly all in this together for the best interest of our students. When I'm asked about what are some of the things that make North Reading a special place, I consider what it is that makes us unique. The students, for sure, are not only high achievers and talented artists, performers, and athletes, but they are good and kind people. They hold doors for you. They say hello in the hallways. They serve their community and care about their school and their town. The staff are dedicated and hardworking and innovative. One of my favorite parts of this graduation ceremony is to hear the shout-outs to the teachers who made a difference in our students' lives. And for so many educators, when they come here, they stay. They make friends among their colleagues. They're visible at concerts, dances, sporting events, parades, and Eagle Scout ceremonies. And they are here tonight in great numbers to celebrate our students. And when I reflect on why this is such a wonderful place to work, I also consider the longevity of our administrators as well, and the impact this has on our school culture. Having heard the stories from friends who have lived through 7 principals in 6 years, I know that consistent leadership truly makes a difference for our schools. The recent trend is for 56% of those graduating college to remain in their job for 2 years or less. Moving around offers opportunities for growth and new experiences. You're going to be able to work from home, perhaps living in one city while technically being employed in another, and never having to go into the office. The concept of employer loyalty is often seen as outdated. But as you can imagine, there are many great benefits for you as an individual when you find yourself in a part of a community the way you have for these past 4 years at North Reading High School. I've been an administrator in this district for 15 years, and in that time we've only hired 3 principals, and 2 of those were filled from within. This year, as a part of we've had 4 search committees involving multiple stakeholders in order to identify the next leaders in our district. And at this time, I want to take just a moment to acknowledge those wonderful administrators who are moving on to the next phases of their lives. How many of our graduating students attended the little school? Another joy of leading this district is to consider how well each of our 3 elementary schools delivers a consistent curriculum. Each has its own unique culture and traditions that guide the student experience. Batchelder Bulldogs have popsicle socials. Hood Hound Dogs have a fun run. And for the little school Labradors, I'm sure you remember those winter concerts, large-scale musicals, turkey trots, family fitness nights, and Top Dog Awards. While many of these events happen across all 3 schools, it's wonderful how each elementary community, with the support of their parent organizations and school leadership, find a way to make it distinctly their own. Earlier this week, I was able to celebrate Principal Christine Molly at the Little School Courtyard Ceremony, an annual tradition where we recognized retirees, which included Heidi Castle, Leslie Mazzoni, Pat Padalano, and Susan Welsh. It was a wonderful turnout for friends, family, and past and present members of the Little School community. Mrs. Molly began her time in North Reading in 2004 as a first grade teacher, before moving on to become a third grade teacher at the Little, and eventually in 2010 she became the principal in that same building. Over the next 15 years, she led her school to earn Blue Ribbon status, an honor that is nationally recognized. And once you are a Blue Ribbon school, you're always a Blue Ribbon school. Mrs. Molly was passionate about literacy, instrumental in bringing new science and mathematics program to the district, and on a personal note, she was always the first person to give me feedback on our strategic plans and initiatives and catch typos in my communications. What I've learned most about Mrs. Molly while walking the buildings is her passion and just how much she cares about each and every student. And those students and staff will miss her presence and leadership. Please join me in wishing her the very best in retirement. The second person I'd like to acknowledge tonight is Mr. David Johnson, our school athletic director and physical education teacher. Just the other day at a baseball game on Sunday morning, I asked Dave if he ever estimated how many hours he spent on the sidelines of North Reading competitions over the years. In his head, he started to do some quick math. 10 to 12 games a season times 25 sports times 18 years plus playoffs and practices. He turned and gave me a smile, telling me he loved every minute of it. I don't know that I've ever been to an athletic event here in North Reading where I haven't seen Mr. Johnson. I've had the pleasure of standing beside him for many playoff runs, cheering our teams at Gillette Stadium, TD Garden, on the golf courses, hockey arenas, courses, tracks, and pools. In his nearly 2 decades on the job here, the role has become more complex as he manages referees, buses, field schedules, co-ops, weather, rule changes, and the incredibly good problem of having so many of our talented teams go deep into the playoffs. But even more so than winning, that has become synonymous with Horneth athletics, is the character of our student athletes and coaches that Mr. Johnson takes the time to recognize and celebrate through social media posts, newspaper articles, and recognition by the Cape Ann League and at the state level. He's so humble and committed to sharing the accolades that he has spent a good portion of his time this past year helping to recognize and name our athletic fields after those in our community have contributed to the student experience. But this evening, it is his legacy and a recognition of his service to the district and to our student athletes that I want to acknowledge, as the impact of Mr. Johnson's leadership will be long remembered in our fields, stadiums, and classrooms here in North Reading. Finally, I must pay tribute to Mr. LaPrette, who along with Miss Catherine Francis is retiring this year from North Reading High School. When Mr. LaPrette was a finalist for assistant principal job back in 2010, I received a call from someone I respect very much selling his praises as a great leader, teacher, and coach. I passed that recommendation along to Mr. Bernard, but I could tell from the way he responded that he had already made his selection and that he knew AJ would be a great addition to the high school team. It was fitting that when Mr. Bernard became superintendent, that Mr. LaPrette moved up into the role of high school principal over 10 years ago. In those years, I worked closely with Mr. LaPrette on so many initiatives and ideas and celebrated so many fantastic occasions. There are too many to count. All will agree that his job is often the most challenging in K-12 education, as he's always on duty, responding to the needs of the building, the students, and the staff by proactively providing solutions and resolving matters that are challenging, to say the least. His firm commitment to always do what is right, what is fair and consistent, has guided us through many challenging situations, and to introduce so many new traditions and experiences for our students over these past 15 years is truly remarkable. He was there when we opened the doors to our new school building, became principal in 2014, was visible in the hallways, sometimes in a kilt, a Star Wars costume, or dressed as a Boilermaker, but he was there to share that special bond with the students and staff to make everyone proud to be a Hornet. On a personal note, I will miss him throwing out lines from classic 1970s films and asking, "Name that movie," or somehow finding a way to connect any aspect of our current conversation to an episode of Seinfeld, and always offering me a can of the newest flavor of Spindrift sparkling water that I just have to try. In our recent interviews for administrative positions, we included a similar scenario-type question. What do you do when it's 7 a.m., the buses are late, the internet is down, the MCAS testing is scheduled for first period, you receive an email that the PAC appears to be double booked for massacres performance and a town meeting that evening, and your phone rings and it's the superintendent calling to inform you that there will be a routine unannounced visit from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education this morning, and also a reminder that he needs a copy of your PowerPoint for the upcoming school committee. What do you do first? While this brings a smile to the candidate's face, what we are truly looking for is how their mind races as they go through the process of figuring out how to balance the many challenges and decisions that a leader must make every single day. And what I've learned and would like to pass along to you is that they are all equally important. Whether it's making sure that all MCAS materials have been returned properly, or if an individual student has a ride home at the end of a long day. From securing the timing of logistics for a championship on the turf field, to making sure the junior varsity players have their uniforms prepped and ready to go. From looking at data to ensure students have met their learning targets and are prepared for college and careers, to having an extra box of tissues for the parents who are dropping their children off at kindergarten and trusting their children with us for the first time. These are all essential, and they do it every day for you. This is why I was so proud of the class of 2025, who along with some members of the community, approached our leadership team with a request to organize a senior clap-out, a new tradition we are piloting next week, where they will return to their elementary schools to say goodbye and thank you to many of the educators who have helped them along the way. I've met with Mr. LaPrette, Owen Phillips, your vice president, and our elementary leaders to organize this event, and it has been a great addition in many other communities. As you stand here tonight, and as you look back at your 4 years in high school, 3 years in middle school, and your days as a bulldog, hound dog, or Labrador, remember those moments where you took the time to celebrate. The art shows, the bows you took on stage, the senior nights on the athletic field, the pep rallies, grand marches, and photos at field days, in the parking lots and on your front steps on those first days of school. You've come a long way to be here tonight and to earn this honor, and no matter where life takes you, you will always be a member of our Hornet community and family. Be well, and God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Neely. It's my pleasure to introduce our first honor essayist, Akash Stewart.
Hello, everyone. It's a very big pleasure to be up here speaking in front of you all today. And to use this great opportunity, I want to talk about one of my biggest passions in the school, STEM learning. For those of you who do not know, STEM is an acronym that encompasses science, technology, engineering, and mathematics learning in our classrooms and out. This year, I've witnessed the creation and expansion of many STEM programs in our high school. I know they have given many students this year a great opportunity to develop the necessary skills which aren't really learned in the classroom as effectively, and I hope that they will continue to give future students these same opportunities. I really do love this growing focus on STEM, especially as our district hasn't always provided students with these opportunities in the past. This growth period has been very swift. In a single year, both the school's World of STEM Club and competitive robotics team have gone from mere ideas to full programs supporting countless students in our school. Both have allowed many students to enter competitions that they're interested in and hone their passions. These programs will make a massive impact on our school system now and in the years to come, but I want to focus on the contributions which led to their creation, these being individual action and cooperation. Although individual action is self-explanatory, I still want to highlight the passion and work that was required from many people to create these great changes in our community. Our World of STEM Club wouldn't be possible without our students and teachers stepping up. For example, Mrs. Verdonk and Mr. Dorval set up the club and worked through administrative procedures which let us, the students, make shining projects. From there, many students, two of whom will be speaking later today, worked diligently to research competition requirements, organize meetings, communicate, and create award-winning and inspiring projects right in our town. These students and faculty used their desire to improve our school to fuel hours of difficult work, which resulted in a club which has already facilitated 2 projects to be presented at state competitions and hopefully allows many future students to expand further. While individual action is important, without cooperation, they are futile. For example, our robotics team would never have been able to find the funding and support necessary to compete throughout the state without the support from our administrators, such as Ms. Caulfield and Ms. Alonzo. The 2 of them allowed us to get the materials we needed to build our robots and prepare for competition day. With these resources and their unflinching support, Mr. Lane and the other students on our team were able to achieve a groundbreaking year of competition success, highlighting the importance of cooperation in our community. Being able to participate in these great programs has allowed me to realize the importance of individual decisions along with cooperation to create a better environment for the current students and the future ones. Reflecting on the past year, I find that I've often benefited from programs spearheaded by other people's success. Next year, with most of our student body entering new environments, I hope that we will all bear more responsibility for creating the change we want to see. No matter your focus or passion, it is vital to advocate for yourself and create your own future. This is only possible by believing in our individual ability to impact communities with diligence and action, along with harnessing communication and cooperation to fully realize our dreams and find our passions. I understand that many of our students already follow these principles and have created great improvements in our high school community, and I urge all of them to continue their influence in their new environments and communities for the betterment throughout their entire lives. I've loved to see all the great improvements that have been made to our school in the past 4 years. I want to thank the students, faculty, and administration. Each and every one of you created a better community than ever before, and I know that future classes of students will continue to improve our town and school, even as the class of 25 moves on to new times. I want to personally thank some people who are very meaningful to me and in my journey. Firstly, my parents for their ever unwavering support, which has allowed me to find my passions and has given me the opportunity to speak about them today. In addition, all the teachers I've had from kindergarten to this senior year, they've given me the means and ability to develop myself academically and as a person. I'll forever be grateful for that. And then finally, to my friends for giving me the motivation to continue and allowing me to enjoy my life. Thank you very much. I also wanted to thank all of you for coming out and supporting this great class of students as they move into the next journey. And I wanted to introduce the esteemed Vanessa Steinmeier to the stage.
We're going to keep you in suspense for Vanessa's speech because we need a little art interlude. Excuse me. How about Notorious and Bones?
The home stretch of the hard times. We took a hard left, but we're all right. Yeah, life sure can try to put love through it, but we built this right. So nothing's ever gonna move it when the bones are good. The rest don't matter. The pain could peel, the glass could shatter, and it and I remain the same. When the rain a crack in the foundation, maybe out of any storm we're facing, we're all right on while we stay put. The house don't fall when the bones are good. Call it down. When the bones are good, the rest don't matter. Yeah, the pain could peel, the glass could shatter. Let it break. You and I don't need to say. When the bones are good, the rest don't matter. Pain could peel, the glass could shatter. Let it break. You and I don't need to say. When the rain will crack in the foundation, maybe I know any storm we're facing will blow right over while we stay put. The house don't fall when the bones are good. When the bones are good. When the bones are good. When the bones are good.
Let's hear it once more for Notorious in chorus. I apologize for going out of order there. Akash was going to say, before I interrupted him, I'm sorry, Akash was going to say, introducing the esteemed Vanessa Steinmeier.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Akash, Mr. LaPrette, and Notorious. Sometimes the most meaningful things come to us when we least expect them. For me, this happened on a musty bus with every seat filled. As many of my peers can sympathize with, I was doom scrolling on my phone when I came upon a quote that made me put it down and think. Even though my body got off that bus 5 months ago, my mind hasn't been able to stop reflecting on the words I read there. I suppose I've built enough suspense now about the mysterious phrase, so I'll let you in on the not-so-secret secret. Oh, to be so alive, to be alive. I'm weeping and I'm laughing, it's marvelous. Anais Nin. I think the reason this had such an impact on me is because of its relevance at this point in my peers and I's lives. It stands as a lesson in accepting both the times weeping and laughing, embracing that the harsh duality of life is inevitable. But somewhere down the road, not literally, the bus ride wasn't that long, it dawned on me that opposites, like tears and joy, don't have to be so separate after all. When we spend our whole lives distinguishing things into categories, the dialogues of growth, ingenuity, and change are cut off. But what happens when we start thinking of these so-called opposites dynamically? What if we twist the dialogue to realize that they, more often than not, work together rather than against each other? What happens when we realize that rain will always turn to sun, that a mathematician can also be a poet, that a student can inspire a teacher? When we think of these things exclusively, we close the door on so many opportunities. I hope that none of us ever feel pressured to live life on a one-track train. Instead, be like a bus whose route is never the same. I promise to stop with the bus puns now. But honestly, nurturing multiple passions is the only way to lead a fulfilling life. And this starts with not being afraid to go against the norm. In my case, this is a continuation of my art while also pursuing engineering, but there are endless combinations out there for all of us to try. Now, at this point in my speech, I must thank my incredible family. Thank you for raising me with empathy, maturity, and a consciousness of the world around me. I feel so fortunate to have your unconditional support as I studied to become an engineer, but I'm even more grateful to know that I would still have it had I chosen to pursue art. And this goes for everyone. Whether you're holding a precise protractor, a thunderous hammer, a colorful paintbrush, or a delicate scalpel, keep the people who support you close. When your passions are valued and appreciated, so are you. And I can't go on without thanking the wonderful teachers, administrators, and community here at North Reading. You have been there for every student and family sitting here today, and your hard work and dedication do not go unnoticed. And lastly, to my friends, thank you for all the different meanings of life you have shown me. To end my speech, I want to do something a little sappy, so please bear with me. To my classmates, let us imagine what our loved ones out there are thinking right now. And I mean really, put yourself in their shoes. Maybe you're their first baby to graduate, so this feeling is new and scary. Or maybe you're the last straggler and they're waiting to celebrate with peace and quiet. Or you're a middle child and they just don't know what to think. Now hold that thought while I challenge the lovely people in the crowd to do the same. What emotions do you think your graduate is working through right now? You know, I hate to be cliche, but what are the odds we all have similar mixes flashing through our minds? Even if it's a fleeting and jumbled mess of happy, sad, nostalgic, frightened, or excited, remember that there's a constant undercurrent of love holding it all together. Finally, I'd encourage you to try and find your supporters in the crowd. Maybe give a little wave if you're feeling bold. These are the people who care for you most. These are the people who care for you most. Let us make them proud today, tomorrow, and forever. Thank you, and I am honored to introduce the valedictorian, the sensational Sucheta Shrikant.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. It will be magical, nostalgic, classy. All words that define our senior year. Interestingly, this was also how Grace Higgins, our junior class secretary, described last year's prom in a Buzz article I published. North Reading has allowed me to find my passion as a writer through the Buzz, as well as through the various classes I've taken over the years. Thank you, Ms. Carmichael, Ms. Boggs, and Ms. Dabrio, for helping me build these skills, and for keeping Shakespeare ever present in our lives. I hope that Mr. Lynch, my third grade teacher, still keeps the World Book in his shelves, crafted by a few of my friends and me. All my teachers have helped me to become a better communicator and creator. But, more importantly, my passion for writing has allowed me to share your voices. Whether it be Mike Del Vecchio's music journey, Owen Phillips' inspiration behind his filmmaking O Films, or the midterm stressors featured in the What's Buzzin' videos, our high school lives remain memorialized in these articles. To me, writing isn't about perfection, but rather the power of voice. I use my words to advocate for equality and representation, and I seek to uplift my peers by documenting their stories. To that point, you might be wondering why I'm not going to pursue a career in journalism. I'm fascinated by the human mind, something I portray in my storytelling. So, if you know me, you know that I will be going on to study cognitive science, a major focused on psychology and data analytics. Finding your passion is a lifelong journey, and I still don't know what the future holds for me. What I do know is that technology will be a part of it, just as it will be a part of all your lives. I believe that the inauthenticity of artificial intelligence comes from its lack of humanity. As someone who will be working in AI in the future, I hope to find a balance and ensure that people remain people, not data points. No matter how challenging it may seem, I beg of you to not lose your humanity, your creativity, or your passion. That is how we keep up with the robots that will inevitably take over the world, and that is how you use your voice. In art, in science, in music, in sports, however you choose to tell your story, I implore you all to continue to fight for your values. I know that each and every one of you will bring light and inspiration to any community you find yourself in. To my fellow class of 2025 graduates, thank you. I'm incredibly honored to be your top scholar and to be leaving this school with such exceptional, talented, and kind individuals. To my family, I thank you for making me the person that I am, and I hope that I've made you proud by walking across this field today. To the faculty, administration, and all the teachers I neglected to mention, I would not be where I am without your unwavering support and dedication. Dr. Daly, Ms. Alonzo, Mr. Friedman, your commitment to the growth and well-being of the North Reading community is incredible and admirable. I want to thank Mrs. Molly, my elementary school principal, who is retiring from the little school. In my formative years, she would always make sure I had a safe space, and I know that no matter where she ends up, she will bring the same comfort to those around her. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Mr. LaPrette. a principal who has always sought to be a helping hand for all of us, and who has made sure that we have received the best education possible. We are so incredibly grateful to have had your leadership and guidance, and as you leave with the class of 2025, please remember the ways in which you have personally changed all of our lives. We wish you all the best in your retirement. As I conclude, let me leave you with this. Your voice is an incredibly powerful thing. Use it to speak up for yourselves, to speak up for those you love, and to speak up for those who cannot. Thank you.
It's now my pleasure to introduce your class essayist, Isabel Lazur.
Good evening, friends, families, teachers, honored guests, and most importantly, the class of 2025. It is my honor to speak on behalf of our shared experiences as we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates this evening. Over the past 4 years at North Reading High School, we've learned an overwhelming amount of information, some of which may stick with us into our futures, and some of which may have already been forgotten from last week. We've memorized dates, solved equations, written essays, and studied for tests through all hours of the night. We've learned that the mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell, the causes of revolutions and wars, how to analyze a poem, and how to calculate the slope of a line. We've learned the order of the presidents in Mr. Osting's seminar, and learned that there is no correct way to get your hands dirty with Miss Atzlis in ceramics. All important lessons, and we're grateful for every one of them. But tonight, I'd like to focus on the lessons we couldn't learn from our teachers in the classroom, because some of the most important things we carry with us from our high school years didn't come from a textbook or a lecture. They came from the ups and downs of life and from each other. We learned that failure isn't the opposite of success, but rather the first step toward it. A bad grade, a lost game, a mistake in a performance, or a missed opportunity doesn't define who we are, but rather shapes the way in which we respond and react. We now know that it's okay to fall apart sometimes, even when it seems like we need to hold everything together, and that true growth comes from discomfort and setbacks, not from perfection. We learned how to be a supportive friend, classmate, and student, comforting others even without having the right words, or helping a classmate with an assignment they don't understand. We've mastered showing up for one another, not just when it was convenient or easy, but when it truly mattered. And that is why we will leave this school knowing how to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. We learned how to balance numerous tasks at once, managing to get through the school day, practice, and rehearsal with enough time to eat, shower, and wrap up that essay. We can now recognize the inevitability of the passage of time, often unbearably slow and other times too fast to catch a breath, and have learned to organize our priorities. We learned that the world is unpredictable, full of sudden changes, disappointments, and losses we never saw coming. That when we're having a bad day, it can somehow always manage to get worse. But we also learned how to adapt, how to be resilient, how to keep going, even when we were scared or unsure. And maybe most importantly, we learned that kindness, real intentional kindness, is one of the most powerful things we can offer one another. No classroom taught us these lessons. Life did, and we lived it together. Some of us since kindergarten, and others for only a few years. Regardless, as we leave these halls, we carry more than just grades, ranks, GPAs, and transcripts. We carry grit, compassion, empathy, and growth, things we couldn't memorize or look at a Quizlet for. We learn the ability to face the world as genuine human beings, bruised sometimes, but brave. To our teachers, thank you for teaching us all that you could and helping us to navigate the past 4 years. To our families and friends, thank you for supporting us through what couldn't be taught. And to the class of 2025, thank you all for being a part of the lessons that shaped who we are. We may not have learned everything we'll need to know for our next chapters yet, but we've learned enough to begin, and that's a beautiful place to start. Thank you.
Thank you, Belle. It's now my privilege to introduce the Class of 2025 Scholarship winners. Please join me in congratulating them. I would ask that when the recipient, his name is called, please stand. I'd also like to thank the community for its generosity in making these scholarships possible. I'm going to move this along at not a crazy clip, but stay with me. American Red Cross Scholarship, David Wyatt. Andover Sportsman Club Scholarships, Nicholas Santiago, Addison Stetson. Robert E. Aylward Memorial Scholarship, Mateo Llanos. James R. Aylward Memorial Scholarship, Anderson Ferreira. Eddie Baker Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by the North Reading High School Boys Ice Hockey, Thomas Gazda. Nenio E. Barrasso and Mary Barrasso Memorial Scholarships, Anya Taneja, Rafi Toby. Arthur A. Barresi Scholarship, Alexander Newbury. L.D. Batchelder School Scholarships, Tanner Dupriest, Julia Mulick. Joseph R. Bernard Memorial Scholarship, Isabel Lazor. BNI Biz Builders Scholarship, Karina Mountain. Paul Buckley Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by the North Reading High School Boys Ice Hockey Boosters, Duncan Galino. Alan Burgess Memorial Scholarship, Addison Stetson. Coach Alan Burgess Baseball Scholarship, Jason Curran. Kristen M. Callahan Memorial Scholarship, Mina Karapchansky. Chartwell's Nutrition Services Scholarships, Sinyi Chen, Matthew Mayette. Eleanor C. Dell Scholarship Fund of 2014, Benjamin Cooper, Adriana Gonzalez, Norman Manzi, Sabelle Miller, Sophia Nalabu, Olivia Rowe. Eleanor Cecilia Dell Scholarship Fund of 2008, Morgan Davis. Larry Dysart North Reading Girls Youth Basketball Scholarship, Grace Higgins. The Nancy Ferretti Ipswich River Community Chorus Excellence in the Arts Scholarship, Nicholas Santiago. Fitzgerald Prize for the community service in memory of Callie and Roy Fitzgerald, Althea Bradley. Betsy Gavoni Memorial Book Award, Daniela Voisinet. Rosalind Gray Memorial North Reading Women of the Moose Scholarship, Addison Stetson. Stephen Gregory Memorial Scholarship, Lucas Doval. James Gregory Hannon Memorial Scholarship, Sucheta Srinkanth. Edith F. Holt Memorial Scholarship, Vanessa Steinmeier. The Hood PA Scholarship in memory of Christy Gorman, Nicole Hawley. Robert Hunt Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by the North Reading Diamond Club, Maxwell Forrestal. Yeah! David Jameson Memorial Scholarship, Morgan Davis. Joe Liazzo Memorial Scholarship, Alexa Pepper. E. Ethel Little School PTO Scholarship, Alexa Pepper. The Mr. and Mrs. Anthony J. LaPret Jr. Memorial Scholarships, Aaron Hatton, Sucheta Srinkanth. Massachusetts Elks Scholarship, Abigail Lucia. Gloria Mastro Memorial Scholarship, Alexa Pepper. Walter Miller Scholarships, Tanner Dupriest, Antonio Rica. Michael J. Mitten Memorial Scholarship, Mia Lava. Moynihan Lumber Scholarship, Akash Stewart. Richard P. Murphy Memorial Scholarship, Aaron D. MVP Boys Track Team Scholarship, Kieran Miller. Eric R. Nelson Memorial Scholarship, Sophia Nalivu. North Reading Education Association Scholarships, Morgan Davis, Kalia McDevitt. North Reading Family Dentistry Scholarship, Catherine Zhu. North Reading High School Boys Ice Hockey Boosters Scholarship, Maxwell Forrestal. North Reading High School Boys Lacrosse Boosters Scholarship, Jackson Wesley. North Reading High School Girls Lacrosse Boosters Scholarship, Alexa Pepper. North Reading High School Parents Association Scholarship, Michael Foley. North Reading Historical and Antiquarian Society Scholarship, Pragati Ram. North Reading Human Rights Group Scholarship, Alexa Pepper. North Reading Little League Matthew Colarusso Memorial Scholarship, Nicholas Santiago. North Reading Little League Scholarship, Phil Dardano President's Award, Jason Curran. North Reading Little League Harold B. Reynolds Memorial Scholarship, Ryan Ladd. North Reading Music Boosters Scholarships, Eulalia Aganis, Braden Crossing, Ivan Deko, Alexander Matashev, Olivia Rowe, Rafi Toby. North Reading Republican Town Committee Scholarship, Addison Setzer. North Reading Youth Football and Cheer Scholarship, Andrew Taylor. North Reading Youth Board of Directors Scholarships, Connor Gattuso, Macy Kirchham, Julia Scammon. North Reading Youth Soccer Parents Award, Cameron Parrott. North Reading Youth Soccer Scholarships in memory of Janet Conley O'Neill, Isabel Lazur, Jackson Wesley. North Reading Youth North Reading Youth Soccer Scholarships in memory of Peter Sapp, Marissa Montana, Finn Roger. Kathleen E. O'Brien Artist Scholarship, Vanessa Steinmeier. DVD Linfield North Reading Girls Varsity Ice Hockey Scholarships, Erin D., Mia Lava, Elise Moody, Alexa Pepper, Vanessa Steinmeier. David Pothier Gold Medal Foundation Scholarship, Gianna Griffith. Robert Ramsdale Boys Youth Basketball Scholarship, Andrew Taylor. Josephine Romeo Memorial Scholarship, Grace Higgins. Edward A. Sapienza Scholarship, Andrew Taylor. Richard K. Smith Jr. Memorial Scholarship, Madeline Forrestal. James R. Stewart III Memorial Scholarship, Paige Helfrich. Mike Tibiro, Lax Scholarship, Lindsay Rosenthal, David Tran. Truly Born Scholarship, Kalia McDevitt. The J. E. Valade and Paul E. Buckley Scholarships for Altruism, Ava Collins, Aaron Hatton. Sarah Valenti Memorial Scholarship sponsored by the North Reading Boys Lacrosse Boosters, Owen Phillips. Todd Verdonk Memorial Scholarship sponsored by the Diamond Club, Jason Curran. Catherine and Wayne Welsh Memorial Scholarship, Macy Kirchham. West Village Women's Club Scholarship, Ava Hanegraaff. Congratulations, scholarship winners. I'm now going to read off the names of the graduates that have been awarded scholarships by the North Reading Dollars for Scholars. Please remain standing when your name is called, and my sincere thanks to the Dollars for Scholars Committee for your efforts on behalf of our students. Althea Bradley, Braden Crossan, Erin D., Ivan Dyko, Dawson Duffley, Alana Hannon, Grace Higgins, Mina Karapchansky, Macy Kirchham, Abigail Lucia, Sabelle Miller, Alexander Matashev, Marissa Montana, Karina Mountain, Carter Nguyen, Dylan Oliveira, Alexa Pepper, Julia Scammon, Vanessa Steinmeier, Addison Stetson, Akash Stewart, Anya Taneja, Rafi Toby, Daniela Voisinet, Catherine Zhu. Your dollars for scholars, dollars for dreamers.
Superintendent Daley, Mr. Friedman, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the North Reading High School, it is my great pleasure to present to you the following members of the class of 2025 who have satisfied the requirements of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the North Reading Public School System to receive their high school diploma. Nicely done, seniors. Sucheta Lalitha Shurkanth. Vanessa Ann Steinmeier. Akash Pillai Stewart. Megdi Sadig Query. Owen Lucas Phillips. Aiden James Kennedy. Butter or deal? Isabel Ann Lajour. Ava Carey Collins. Benjamin Edward Cooper. Anna Catherine Abruzzi. Eulalia Mari Aganis. Ava Grace Aranis. Cameron Aria. Lily Aria. Tyler Daniel Bailey. Jillian Ellen Ball. Danielle Baranetsky. Luke Andrew Berkeley. Liam Patton Blanchett. Sophie Giselle Bedoya. Althea Benjuan Bradley. Nathan Stephen Burt. Emily Hudson Burton. Theodore James Capobianco. Trevor Gregory Carter. Anthony Carmine Cassiano. All right, Samantha, let's see what you have. Samantha Marie Casarino. Francesca Elena Cataldo. Sing-Yi Chen. Jacob Collins Cloney. Matthew Thomas Collins. Pellegrino Conti. Vincent Donald Costantino. Braden Patrick Crossan. Jason Thomas Curran. Jacob Walter George Daly. Morgan Bridget Davis. Erin Rose D. Ivan Alexander Dako. Stephen Eric Delisle. Michael Thomas Del Vecchio. Andrew Patrick DeStefano. Joseph Anthony Dimitri. Maria Carolina Medeiros Diaz. Joshua Owen DeBono. Jonathan Antonio DeCiccio. Lucas Bastos Doval. Andrew Dong. Dawson Charles Duffley. Tanner James Dupriest. Daniel Adam Espinosa. Anderson Ferreira. Lenitza Arieliz Ferrer. Bryn Elizabeth Flaherty. Matthew John Fleury. James Joseph Fudera. Michael Alexander Foley. Madeline Patricia Forrestal. Maxwell Leo Forrestal. Jack Christopher Galvin. Connor Michael Gattuso. Thomas Joseph Gazda. Jacqueline May Gensler. Adriana Deirdre Gonzalez. Parker Joseph Griffin. Gianna Francesca Griffith. Duncan Jackson Gulino. Maxwell Salvatore Gulino. Ava Marie Hanegraaff. Alana Christine Hannon. Erin Grace Hatton. Nicole Ann Holly. Paige Josephine Helfrich. Grace Addison Higgins. Madison Linda Hopfer. Haley Mariah Irving. Nicolas Augusto Johnson. Mina Stanimirova Karpchansky. Macy Jane Kirchin. Haley Alexis Lavarge. Ryan Simon Lab. Madeline Ann Lambert. Mia Grace Lava. Nicholas Charles Laverdier. Parker Ton Lee. Ava Christine Levine. Lily Madeline Liberto. Juliana Maddie Legore. Jordan Elizabeth Long. Jason Thomas Lord. Danae Joy Garner Losey. Abigail Sophia Lucia. Hannah Margaret McKinnon. Callie Marion McClellan. Hayden Margaret McClellan. Michael Ashland Mahoney. Norman Florence Manzi. Kalia Lynn McDevitt. James Robert McLaughlin. Joanne Marina McLaughlin. Jacob Leo Merlina. Sabel Elena Miller. Karen Harry Miller. Alexander Jordan Mitashev. Ellie Marie Moberg. Marissa Montana. Karina Ann Mountain. Mahir Tajwar Mugdho. Julia Lynn Mulick. Michael James Murphy. Marshall Stephen Murray. Samira Raju Morthy. Elise Jessica Muty. Samantha May Muty. Matthew Joseph Mayette. Sophia Rose Nalivo. Alexandra Rita Newberry. Carter Dwee Nguyen. Torrin James Nickerson. Paige Louise NORCAM. John Porrick O'Donnell. Dylan George Oliveira. Caio Almeida Mancini. Cameron Lee Parrott. Atlas Ray Pierce. Logan James Pemberton. Alexa Jo Pepper. Anthony James Petito. Ian Thomas Pinto. Michael Anthony Pittori. Aniel Mirta Pudan. Jason Matthew Fulia. Pragati Ram. Talia Giovanna Ranieri. Antonio Giolongo Rica. Finn O'Connell Roger. Davide Ennio Rosati. Lindsay Catherine Rosenthal. Olivia Catherine Rowe. Nicholas David Santiago. Julia Catherine Scammon. Aiden Seaman. Alexandra Nicoletta Sfikas. Despina Gabriela Sfikas. We feel bad for her. Casey Sheehan Sousa. Addison Kathleen Marie Stetson. Liam Patrick Talbot. Anya Taneja. Andrew Donald Taylor. Rafi George Toby. David Min Tran. Christian Julio Villarroel. Daniela Quichechi Voisinay. Jackson Peter Wesley. Lee Rose Wisco. David Robert Wyatt. Mateo James Llanos. Catherine Siao Zhu. Patrick Peter McManus. Joseph Preston Henry Bates. Ladies and gentlemen, families and friends, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the North Reading High School class of 2025. Go Hornets!
Oh boy. All right, at this time, we're going to have the class leadership come to the podium, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marty Query, and I'm the senior class president. Before I continue, I'd like to congratulate all of the seniors for their tremendous work and commitment this year. Being here before you is an amazing privilege. I'm very blessed to have been your class president. Now, as we celebrate our success, I hope we can look back at what brought us to this point tonight, our teachers. For the last 4 years, our teachers have woken up every morning like we have, exhausted and anxious for the day ahead. But unlike us, they had to deal with our shenanigans and foolishness every morning. Their continuous commitment to us in the classroom and efforts to ensure that they could cram every last piece of knowledge into our minds is something we must thank them for tonight. I'd like to especially recognize a teacher who had an impact on me and many other students here tonight, Ms. Francis. Ms. Francis has been my science teacher for 3 years and a cornerstone of the science department for many more. Her work ethic, passion, and enthusiasm in the classroom have inspired not just me, but hundreds of students to develop a love for science. As we bring this night to a close, let us carry with us a deep thanks for the teachers who have guided us and believed in us, because without it, none of this would have been possible. Thank you, President Al.
Thank you, Marty. I just want to shout out my grandma. She came all the way from Morocco to see this, so shout out Grandma. Good evening, faculty, families, and friends. My name is Edward Elgar, and I have had the honor of serving as the Class of 2025 Treasurer. Tonight, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of the people who often work quietly behind the scenes. These are the faces you may not see every day, yet they're the ones keeping this school running. Our custodians, office staff, IT crew, nurses, guidance counselors, athletic office, and lunch staff. They are some of the first to arrive and the last to leave. From sorting out attendance sheets to fixing Chromebooks and keeping the building clean and safe, these individuals are the backbone of our school. So thank you all for what you do. We truly appreciate your dedication, your care, and the countless ways you support our community. And now I have the honor to recognize someone whose retirement marks the end of an era, Mr. Anthony J. LaPret. Mr. LaPret, or AJ as students and staff call him, has been with North Reading High School for over a decade. However, his career in education spans much longer, as he has been in education for 33 years. Before arriving at NRHS, He spent his years teaching history at Minuteman High School and shortly served as our assistant principal in 2014 before stepping into a position you see him now. In 2021, he was honored by the Massachusetts Association of Student Councils as 2021 Administrator of the Year. Thank you, Mr. LaBrette, for all of you done. We wish you all the best as you head into retirement. To conclude my time speaking with you all, I'd like to share a small token of appreciation for Mr. LaPrette. The class of 2025 will donate funds to a brand new podium hand-selected by Mr. LaPrette, ready for many speeches like this one today. We hope it stands tall for years to come, just like the man who inspired it. Thank you, Mr. LaPrette, and thank you all for being part of this moment with us.
Good evening, class of 2025. I'm Aiden Kennedy, your class secretary. As we stand on the edge of a new chapter, it's important to take a moment to reflect, not to see this as an end, but as a meaningful step forward into the future. Each of us is heading down our own unique path, and it's natural to wonder, will the friendships and bonds we've built here stand the test of time? I believe the answer is yes. No matter where life takes you, the spirit of the Hornet will always stay within you. As we go our separate ways, let's not let go of the connections that shaped us. Stay in touch, reach out, keep those friendships alive, because they're more than just memories. They're part of who we are. Now before I go, I'd like to take a picture with the class for one last memory. Yeah. Congratulations, class of 2025. The future is yours.
Thank you, AK. Good evening, Hornet Nation. My name is Owen Phillips, and I've had the honor of serving as the senior class vice president. As we wrap up this evening, I want to take a moment to recognize the people who have made this journey possible. To all the family, friends, and guardians here tonight, thank you. Thank you for being our biggest supporters, our loudest cheerleaders, and the ones who picked us up when things felt too heavy. Whether it was helping with homework, showing up to get our games and performances, or simply reminding us to keep going, your love and encouragement has meant everything, and we could not have done this without you all. A very special thank you to Ms. Gagnon and Ms. Gilbert, our class advisors. From dealing with mine and the other officers' early morning texts saying we are running late to our morning Wednesday meetings, to helping us plan vital fundraisers and class events. The countless hours you have put into making the senior class successful does not go unnoticed. Finally, to my classmates. This is it. There will likely never be a time where we are all together in the same space again. So please soak in these final moments. As we leave this field tonight, think of all the fantastic connections and achievements we have made. We've grown together, we've challenged each other, we've made memories that will last far beyond our school grounds. From freshman nerves to senior sliding, we've done it all, and we've done it all together. Now, as a class, please rise. We already did this, I guess, earlier, but it's fine. Let us mark this milestone the way graduates always have, by turning our tassels from right to left. Now, remove your caps. Congratulations, class of 2025. We did it! Thank you all.